This time I'd like to call the August 17th, 2020 City of Vandalia Council meeting to order. We'll start with a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Council, you've had an opportunity to review the council special meeting minutes of June 6th, the council study session minutes of July 20th, the council meeting minutes of July 20th. Are there any comments or corrections? Being none, they stand approved. We have no communications, petitions, or awards. We do have a public hearing. We're required by our charter to hold a public hearing for all ordinances in their second reading or emergency ordinances. And since we do have two emergency ordinances on the agenda tonight, I will like to open up a public hearing. So if anybody would like to speak on any of these ordinances, please state your name, address, and the ordinance you're speaking to, and your comments. Anybody there, Darren, that you're aware of? Okay. All right, being none, I'll close the public hearing. And that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if anybody in the audience would like to make a comment, please state your name and address for the record and your comment.
Can you hear me? This is Holly Wiggin.
We can hear you.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of Dayton Power and Light. I would like to give a little bit of information about some things that we're doing to help assist our customers. Many of those customers are in Vandalia. Beginning on August 3rd, we introduced some new payment options to help those customers experience financial hardship due to COVID-19. Residential customers can select from 6, 9, and 12-month extended payment agreements, and that 12-month agreement is new. Business customers can extend their payment plan up to 6 months. DP&L encourages our customers to go on and try and do self-service. They can call our 800 number, 800-433-8500, or go online to dpandl.com/one-less-worry. And that will avoid them waiting for one of our agents to help them. They can self-serve, and it's a fairly easy process. Some customers may be getting some communications and even some auto call-out services that are giving them some of this information, so please don't assume that any of that is not really us. We really are doing some proactive call-out, so it's not someone trying to dupe them into something, and it's just giving you information about these extended plans and where you can call. The other place customers can go is we've extended our Gift of Power Emergency Relief Fund through October 15th. So customers can go on to dpandl.com/gift or call the Salvation Army, and they can help you through that application process. This again helps those customers even once they've gotten onto one of those extended payment plans. The county, Montgomery County, also has some CARES Act funds. So I would suggest that you go onto our site and look for a link to that, or go to MCO, Montgomery County, mcobiz.com/cares and grants, and you can find your way from the county. There is a button there for housing, and that can help you with CARES Act funds for paying your utility bills. And again, you can go there even once you've gotten onto a payment plan. So if anyone needs help, please get onto our website. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to make a comment? All right. Okay, we'll move on to the city manager's report. We have one information item and an action item. Mr. Althouse?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just one action item or information item we want to share with council and with the public is that the city offices will be closed on Labor Day, Monday, September 7th. However, the Recreation Center will be open from 7 a.m. to noon for the fitness area, gymnasium, and track only. Because of Monday, Labor Day, the next council meeting will be on Tuesday, September 8th, 2020 at 7 p.m. September 8th, 2020 at 7 p.m.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the action items. We have the selection of a city manager search consultant.
Yes, I would, I would recommend that the mayor enter in negotiations and a contract with Julie Trick for the purpose of conducting a search for a new city manager.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Vice Mayor Ehlers and a second by Councilwoman Farr that we enter into negotiation with Ms. Julie Trick to be our consultant to hire a city manager. Are there any comments? Being none, please call the roll.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
No.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
I abstain.
Vice Mayor Ehlers,
Who?
Yes.
Yes. I didn't hear you.
I'm helping him.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries with 5 yes, 1 no, and 1 abstain. We have no old business, and that brings us to our first resolution of the night, and that's Resolution 20-R-48. Mr. McDonald, by title only?
A resolution waiving the formal bidding authorizing the purchase of a video recording and broadcast system for Vandalia City Council chambers.
Thank you. Mr. Althouse.
Thank you, Your Honor. As council heard during the study session this evening, the city of Vandalia is eligible for CARES Act funds that allow us to broadcast these meetings remotely. Obviously, we know that there's a number of equipment here that's over 20 years old, and many pieces of equipment is aged and outlasted its lifetime. Our IT director, Darren Davey, did a presentation on a number of the items that would require so we can proficiently broadcast these meetings. And those items would be purchased, and he's recommending using iVideo Technologies with a project cost of $23,287.06. And these would be available using the CARES Act funds since the upgrade meets those specifications.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve Resolution 20R48.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Blakesley and a second by Councilman Lewis that we approve Resolution 20-R-48. Are there any comments? I'll just add that this is long overdue. Our video online is it's not looked good the last several years. Call the roll.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ehlers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 20-R-49. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution authorizing the city manager of the city of Vandalia to enter into a generation supply agreement for electric generation supply for city facilities.
Thank you. Mr. Althouse?
Thank you, Your Honor. Last month, we talked about in our study session how the Miami Valley Communications Council, who enters into an agreement with for several municipalities regarding electric generation supply with DeepNL Energy Resources International Gas Supply. They had the opportunity this season to extend that for 3 years at a reduced rate, which would ultimately save the city money annually of approximately $13,000, and over the lifetime of the contract, approximately $53,000 for those electric generational charges.
All right. Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll move that we approve Resolution 20R49 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Lewis and a second by Councilwoman Farsh that we approve Resolution 20-R-49 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ehlers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 20-R-50. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution authorizing additional funds to OHM Advisors LLC for additional professional planning services associated with revisions to the city's comprehensive plan.
Thank you. Mr. Althouse?
Thank you, Your Honor. The city hired OHM Advisors to draft a new comprehensive plan back in late 2018 after OHM had presented their final draft of the comprehensive plan to council at the February 17th City Council workshop. Council requested the plan to be presented at a Saturday retreat, which was presented by staff on June 6, 2020. At that retreat, council requested a number of modifications and clarifications to the plan. Staff has performed many of those modifications in-house. However, there was some assistance required by OHM Advisors. Given that we've exhausted our $70,000 contract with OHM Advisors, and the staff is requesting an additional $5,000 be authorized to finalize the plan. And to note, the 2019 budget allocated $80,000 for this project, and the remaining $10,000, which remains encumbered in this year's budget.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 20-R-50 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Farst and a second by Councilman Blakesley that we approve Resolution 20-R-50 as presented. Are there any comments?
Just that letting people know that council requested these changes, and therefore that's the added cost to this. So hopefully that's well spent, and I appreciate Ms. Holloway's work on that project.
Absolutely. Any other comments? All right, call the roll.
And I just want to say that the estimated cost is nowhere near 5,000. We
Right.
just put it up at 5,000 just to cover ourselves.
Great, thank you.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ehlers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. We have no ordinances in their first reading, nor do we have any ordinances in their second reading. We do have a couple of ordinances, or emergency ordinances, the first one being 20-21. Mr. McDonald, by title only.
An ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31, 2020, and amending Ordinance 19-24 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Mr. Althouse.
Thank you, Your Honor. Finance is requesting approval of the following supplemental appropriation ordinance, and they would be broken down for the following, in the following manner. The general fund, there would be a city manager, in the city manager's office, there would be a $60,000 increase of the 2020 budget appropriations to account for additional legal expenses due to the issues related to COVID-19, zoning, contract negotiations, and other labor-related items. In the Recreation Center, there's a decrease of $141,950, and that's a decrease of the 2020 budget appropriations of part-time personnel wages to offset the increase in consultant expenses due to the new contract with SwimSafe. In the Fire Division, an increase of $455 of the 2020 budget appropriations to account for the unexpected expenses related to the COVID-19. This expense will be offset by part of the reimbursement from the CARES Act. From the Capital Improvement Fund in the Fire Division, an increase of $7,500 of the 2020 budget appropriations to account for the unexpected expense to replace a high-band VHF radio repeater on the Inverness water tower that simulcasts tones and pagers. The failure of the original repeater caused the tornado sirens to be inoperable. The city is currently operating with a loaner repeater from P&R Communications. In the local coronavirus relief fund, $215,362.25. This is an increase of the 2020 budget appropriations to account for the reimbursement of expenses to replace lost revenue and assist with the unexpected additional expenses associated with the COVID-19. The city received a distribution payment from the county to be expended only to cover cost consistent with the CARES Act and the following guidelines. Number one, its necessary expenditures incurred were related to COVID-19. Number two, expenditures were not included in the 2020 budget. Number three, the expenditures incurred during March 1st, 2020 through December 30th, 2020. Number four, all approved expenditures must be encumbered on or before October 15th, 2020. Number five, remaining unused balance of reimbursement must be remitted back to the county by December 28th of 2020. And finally, the proper expense documentation related to the reimbursement must be submitted to the county. The final one is the water fund. This is a $6,800 expense. It's an increase of the 2020 budget appropriations to account for the unexpected expense of cleaning the external tank of the Inverness water tower.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 20-21.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Ehlers and a second by Councilwoman Follick that we approve ordinance 20-21 as an emergency. Are there any comments? Can you call the roll?
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ehlers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have emergency ordinance 20-22. Mr. McDonald, by title only.
An ordinance approving individual assessment amounts and directing the finance director or her designee to certify the amounts to the county auditor for collection and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Mr. Althouse.
Thank you, Your Honor. This ordinance would allow us to collect, go back to collecting the assessments that are put onto properties for mowing that is done by city employees, unpaid water and sewer expenses, and such of those as we move forward.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve emergency ordinance 2022.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Blakesley and a second by Councilman Follick that we approve ordinance 20-22 as an emergency. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ehlers,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. That brings us to reports from boards and commissions. Council, you've had an opportunity to review the Board of Zoning Appeal minutes of July 22nd and the Planning Commission minutes of April 28th. Are there any comments? Being none, I stand approved. The July bill listing in the amount of $2,957,010.70 and a July purchase card detail in the amount of $24,298.42. That brings us to council comments. Mr. McDonald?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Mr. Althouse?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Follick?
Nothing. Thank you.
Councilwoman Fairst?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Councilman Blakesley?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
We're just cruising right through this. Councilman Lewis?
No, thank you.
Surely you have some. Councilwoman Woods?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Ehlers?
No, thanks.
All right. And I have no comments either. So with that said, this meeting is adjourned.